Welcome to San Antonio Sports Motivation Monday. I am Mandy Adkins, and today we have the great pleasure of visiting with UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor. Coach Traylor took over the Roadrunner program in December of 2019, and in his first season, marked by a pandemic, 4 quarterbacks, injuries, and 8 straight weeks without a bye, he has a record of 7-4. Prior to coming to UTSA, he was former associate head coach at Texas, SMU, and Arkansas, and his 30 years of coaching experience includes 15 years as the head coach at Gilmer High School, where he led teams to 3 state championships. So, Coach, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So as you know, San Antonio Sports offers fundamental sport development through our I Play After School program, ensuring that children in our community can experience the power of sport. And you see every day how sport can change a life. So can you share some of your thoughts on what the power of sport has done for you personally and for your players?
Well, I would take this year for an example. With the George Floyd situation, COVID, presidential election, you saw how America kind of behaved. And I put out on Twitter, if every body could be a part of a locker room, we wouldn't be the way we're acting right now. And our team, we're forced to deal with each other. We have brown people, black people, white people. We have every walk of life on our team.
Yep.
And you had to put aside your own individual preferences and goals for the benefit of the team. We're forced to learn about different religions. We're forced to learn about different cultures. So we have a greater appreciation for each other. We have more empathy for each other, and we understand each other a lot better. So if the world were like a locker room, I think the world would be a better place.
Yeah, that's such a great point and great perspective. There's a lot of value in that team aspect. And, I know that you talk a lot about developing the whole player, and you're known obviously for your holistic approach. So what do you emphasize to your players about their time away from football and outside of the game?
I was given a poem in 1993 by one of my heroes, a coach by the name of Dick Sheffield. And the poem is basically, like my coaching record, like you could read off what my wins and losses are. That's what I would probably be known for in coaching. But the point of it is that's not my real record. I've been a head coach now for 16 seasons. Let's say I average, about 30 kids per class.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm roughly right around 500 young men. Well, how many men came out of that 500? So of all those boys, how many became men? How many of them were giving back? How many of them took care of their wives? How many of them took care of their children? How many of them took care of their city, their communities, their church? Are they giving or are they taking? So I tell them all that's in 30 years, that's when my real record is going to be established. It's going to be how many men out of how many boys. And that's really what our challenge is every day here. We're just trying to get better every day and see how many of them can be productive citizens and not take, but give.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and as a mom who doesn't have children yet playing sports, my dream and my prayer is that once my boys get to the age of playing football, that they're fortunate enough to have a coach like you who sees, the value in it's not just about the game. It's developing those boys into young men and solid members of society.
I get all the credit. The truth is the football is just a carrot.
Yeah.
And you can dangle the carrot in front. It's amazing how many of them will go to tutorials and will study and do the right thing if they don't get the ball. So you just have to, I tell them all the time, I love them. I do. I love my kids unconditionally. But my yes is my yes and my no is my no. And if they don't do A, then they're not going to get B. And so I get a lot of credit for that, but it's the power of the ball. They all want the ball and they all want to play.
Yep, that's so true. We see that even in our after school program. I mean, our attendance rates are higher, but it's because kids want to come to school because they want to play. And sports is just that powerful entity that has the ability to do that.
And even in high school, Dr. Compost wouldn't want to hear me say this, but I didn't go to school because I really wanted to learn. My mom and dad were both teachers. My dad was a principal. My mother's a 40-year educator. I wanted to play ball.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to play ball, I had to pass my classes.
Yep.
So that ball has been a powerful motivator for me for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about, you've obviously had a very challenging first year and you had to start virtually and getting to know your players in a more untraditional sense than what you had planned. So how did you adapt to that, and how did you get to know your players in the midst of living through a pandemic?
Well, when I first started, I had the press conference, and the very first thing I did was I went and saw my team, and I just told them straight up, they didn't choose me, I chose them. Mm-hmm. And I just asked them to give me an opportunity. I went over our culture pillars and what we were going to live by. And then I told everybody my emphasis was the 210, the San Antonio area. That's where we're going to start our recruiting and work our way out. But instead of going out on the road the very first day, I stayed with my kids in the weight room. And then I recruited in the afternoon into the night. Mm-hmm. So every day I would come back and be with them in the weight room, and I'd recruit afternoon to night. And I'm really glad I did that now, because once the pandemic hit, I didn't get to see them anymore. So I'm glad I had a lot of face-to-face contact. Mm-hmm. That was a blessing for me. Then the George Floyd situation happened, and we were already Zoom meeting, doing all of our installs and our culture pillar talk. And what I thought was going to be a 10-minute meeting about George Floyd and social unrest turned into a 2.5 hour to 3 hour meeting. We committed this season to using our platform to educate people and to show the city of San Antonio how Black people, brown people, white people, we could be a great example for the whole city. And I feel like our kids have done a fantastic job of using their platform to show everybody how to be a team, how to be selfless, how to love each other, be people of integrity. And I feel I'm as proud of that as I am our record, honestly.
Yeah, that's an incredible feat. And you certainly should be proud, because you all are setting a great example for the city and for the children of our city who look up to your players as who they want to be when they grow up. And so we all really appreciate you and respect you for what you're doing and the work you're doing.
Well, it's all my players. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of coaches that say things. There's a lot of words on walls.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time. Trust is truth over time. It's easy to say it. It's hard to live it.
Right.
There are a lot of teams that talk it. There are not many that really walk it. And we call our hashtag 210 Triangle of Toughness brand our culture. And our kids are the ones that deserve all the credit. They're the ones that have gone out there and done it. I get way too much credit when it works, and I get way too much blame when it doesn't work.
The beauty of being a coach, right?
Amen.
Well, tell us a little bit can you share any tips for our viewers on how you have stayed motivated and kept your players motivated through all these uncertain times?
Yeah, it's a very simple philosophy. We literally try to get up every day and just win today. I mean, we have our culture pillars that we talk about every day, but at the end of every day, we ask ourselves, did we literally get up, control the controllables, trust the process, and win the day? And, our culture pillars, we start with integrity, our pinky, it's a pinky promise. We then go to our ring finger. We want to be passionate. It's the wedding, where the wedding band goes, and you got to bring some passion to that wedding. You got to bring some passion to a marriage. The middle finger is, we touch our head and our heart. It's mental and physical toughness. You got to be mentally tough to get up every day. You got to be physically tough to win the day. Our index finger, we're going to point at our teammates. We're going to try to be selfless every day. Our thumb, we point back at ourselves. We're going to give perfect effort every day. We're going to trust those 5 pillars, wad them up, pound the fist, trust the process, and win the day. And our kids have a little motto, a little saying. Ryan Follow, our strength coach, goes over it with them every day. My assistant coaches, secretaries, equipment, training staff. It's truly a top-down, bottom-up piece that we try to emphasize every day. And when I see them, that's all I ever ask them is, did we win today? Were we the very best we could be today? And that's what we try to do every day. We try to live it.
Yeah. And that's great advice for everybody, regardless of whether you're an athlete or just, working to set small goals for yourself to get yourself back in shape is how can you win today and what can you do to win today? So
especially this year of all years that we haven't learned that to even plan much. We have to plan, I understand, but we don't know we're playing until the ball's kicked off. I mean,
right.
We're doing COVID testing on Friday. It could all go away in one day.
Right.
So we're not taking one day for granted. And I know we should always live that way, but I feel like 2020 has been the greatest example for all of us. As much has been going on, just to take today.
Yep.
Just enjoy it and be the very best you can be today.
Yep. It's definitely a perspective shift, I think, for everybody. And
amen.
And you touched on this a little bit, but tell us a little bit about, for you, what is the relationship between physical activity and mental health and how those two go together?
Well, when your physical health, you can either take the time to do it every day, which is, I get it. It's 45 minutes to an hour, 30 minutes. Or when you get sick, it's going to take its time from you. So it's a matter of where you want to give your time. I'd rather, I give our coaches an hour a day at lunch to get in the weight room, get on the treadmill. Some of my very best thoughts are on the elliptical, on the treadmill. When I finally relax and get away from my desk, I get a good sweat up, maybe in the shower, whatever it might be, where I'm finally relaxed. And I have some of my very best thoughts. So especially when you're a coach, you feel more obligated to at least look like you're healthy, even though you might not be. So it's a motivation for all of us to stay in there and try to look the part as best we can.
Right. That's so true. Well, to kind of wrap us up, have there been any silver linings for you over the last couple of months as we've lived through this new normal?
No doubt. If you'd have told me that when the season started, we had 0 kids on the all-conference preseason team, we were picked dead last, and we got, because we were brave and we took care of our COVID testing, we were on national TV 7 times. We were on regional TV 2 times, and we were on ESPN 2 more times. So that's 11 times the country's got to see our brand, our hashtag 210. Was it opportunity or adversity? Our kids chose to make it opportunity. We didn't look at it as a adversity. I'm very, very proud of our kids to social distance and to put that mask on and to, not get to live a college life for the benefit of the team, for the benefit of San Antonio, for the benefit of UTSA. I'm extremely proud of them, and I'm honored to be their coach.
Yeah. Well, we are just so thankful that you provided us the time today, and you and your coaching staff are doing great work. Your team is doing great work. And I know the city of San Antonio is just so excited for you all and the team, and excited to continue watching you on your journey as head coach. So we wish you all the best. And I encourage all of our viewers, to really think through that. How can you win today? What can you do today that'll help you win the day and just face every day individually? So Coach Traylor, thank you so much for your time.
Well, huge shout out to our fans for showing up. Huge shout out to the Alamo Dome, the city of San Antonio, Mayor Nierenberg for taking care of us and getting us in the Alamo Dome and letting us show off our kids.
Yeah.
And appreciate you. God bless, and birds up.
Birds up.